Okie dokie, it's a few days later. I had to wait for some window channel rubber. I wasn't given enough to do the whole job. So I'm going to push this in. To the groove. I'm going to use various blocks of wood to get it seated all the way in. And that looks in there pretty good. Next, I'm going to do a little bit of trimming right here with that lip so that it doesn't interfere with anything. I'm then going to pound it into the rest of the channel and trim off the excess at the bottom. Next, I will show you me putting on window chrome. This will only be the second time that I've installed window chrome. First time I did it on my other car, and I had bought brand new window chrome. And then you have a metal backing of the frame here. You slide your window chrome onto this lip that's on the outside here, one of the umbrellas, as I call them. And I wasn't given any instructions or any good ideas as to what device to use to crimp that on there. So I just went along and I used this rubber mallet to lightly tap, 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 all the way around, getting it on, da, 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 on that side. And I thought I did a great job. And then I walked away from the car and I caught I had the right angle to catch the reflection coming off the chrome, and I realized I had like 20 faint, but definitely there dents in my brand new window chrome. Now, this time around, I would have bought brand new window chrome, but all the suppliers are out of it. So I'm forced to use the window chrome from my previous Red Baron car, which is, it's serviceable. At least it doesn't have large dents in it, but it's original 50-year-old window chrome. I have no choice. If I want the project to move forward, I got to reuse it. Down the road, if when new window chrome becomes available, I can theoretically take it off and reinstall with new. So when you reuse window chrome, it's been crushed already to hold on to that rubber lip. And getting them spread apart again to put them on another window is not easy. The gap between the two pieces has been crushed to almost nothing, and almost nothing will go into that slot, even a screwdriver. I found I was looking for something that was softer than the aluminum so it wouldn't scratch it, and not too much of a wedge that would maybe put a crease or a dent or something in the metal. So I had this piece of plexiglass, and this is red plexiglass. And what I did is I took it to my grinder or my belt sander, and I ground a 30-degree angle on it, maybe 45, and I gently hammered it into that gap between the in the folded up window in the window chrome, and it worked remarkably well. I was able to do it a little bit enough at a time to get it apart without deforming the aluminum. You could maybe take a piece of wood and bevel a sharp bevel on one end, and it's nice and soft, and hammer that in gently. Maybe use a cloth thing. This is a moving blanket that I have on my work table here. And you want to get the thing expanded to at least the thickness of the little lip here. Call it 1/8 of an inch, call it maybe 3/16 of an inch, and then you'll be able to put it on. I'm going to show you my other completed door, and there you can see the window chrome is fairly decent. Probably trimmed a little bit too much off right there, but I got my corner on. The inside corner ones that have well, there's two types of corners. One has flanges sticking out to the sides, and I believe those are for the front and rear windows, and those little lips tuck in under the rubber. You don't have that luxury here, so they give you a different type of corner in which one side out here is longer than this side, and it's sort of hooked over. You basically push that on there and find a way, like with some kind of pliers or something, to maybe crimp it. After 40 years of hitting junkyards and stealing the window chrome and corners off of them, I can tell you that the corners are really easy to fall off. So what I did this time is I took some goop and I buttered the inside of the corner before I put it on. Goop has worked great for me for 40 years. I've never had anything fail that I used goop to glue on, and it doesn't dry out, and it kind of like lasts forever. Now, what you can't see is right here in this corner is an area that has a really small rivet. I believe it's a 1/16 diameter rivet. That's really small. Good luck finding one of those and a pair of pop rivet things to get that on. So what I use instead of, I have a whole lot of little machine screws and small sheet metal screws. So I put a small sheet metal screw in there. You want to make sure it doesn't stick up too much and interfere with you getting the corner on. Now, if you look really closely, right here is a defect, right, or a line. Right there's a line. Right there is a line. And right there is a line. And there and there. And this repeats about every 4 inches. Well, this was caused by my method of squeezing the chrome on, and it was caused by the edges of these vice grips having a burr on them. So I have since taken a file and rounded off the corners so that I don't get little dents. Now these are called sheet metal clamps, and they have a 4-inch wide blade on them, or jaws on them. Sheet metal clamps or sheet metal vice grips, they're also used in welding. You can find them under all sorts of different names combined together on eBay or Amazon or something for like 15 bucks. I've actually been sitting on these things for about 5 or 6 years now. I think I found them in the discount bin at the auto parts store. And you start putting your chrome on, evenly spaced. There's the hole where the rivet goes. And then carefully adjusting the jaws to squeeze just enough, I would just simply squeeze the metal on there. I would then move down like 3.5 inches so that there would be some overlap of where I squeezed before. And I'm holding and pressing the chrome on to make sure that it's on there all the way onto the lip. And then give it a squeeze, work my way down, work my way down, work my way down, work my way down until you're here. And you'll do the same operation here and here and here. This wiper that goes on this edge, I have found just presses on. I think there might be nope, I thought there might have been a screw right here, but I don't detect anything. I thought there was a screw there. So I'm gonna finish putting my window rubber into that groove all the way down, and then I'll show you me spreading the old chrome to reuse on this door, and then a little bit more of me putting the chrome on the door. Okay, so I have cleaned up this piece of window chrome, scraped paint because the car it came from had been painted multiple times in multiple different colors. I just was able to scrape it off with a razor blade, and then I took a piece of Scotch-Brite and got that on there. There's the little spot where the rivet goes. So this is for the vertical of the door. Here's my specially beveled piece of plexiglass, and what's nice about this is it's flexible and it will conform to the shape of this. If you use an absolutely dead rigid piece of metal or wood, it might end up straightening this out, and as you can see, it has a curve. So I'm going to put the wedge side towards the inside and get it started in the groove. Not as easy as it sounds. Let's try it the other way. Okay, so I put the bevel facing the outside of the chrome. And that works really good. you can see, I've now got that in there. There's a little bit over here that hasn't been done yet. And I'll get some pliers to pull it out. A little bit of it broke right there, but that's okay. And of course you can't really tell by the camera, but I have a nice 1/8 inch gap there that is more than big enough to slide over the rubber. Just have to do that last little bit right there. And this piece of metal is ready to go on the car. Okay. So for the vertical piece, well, gee, what do you know? That's not for that door. That is for the other door. Okay, looks like I had expanded the wrong one. This is the correct one with the bow going to the other side and the little hooky part. So when you put this on, make sure that this is the slot in the chrome is at least at the plane of the at least it's at the plane of the hole. There's going to be some movement as this thing goes on. You may have to push it, but make sure you've got it so that you can get the rivet or screw in there. Okay, so